Hello everyone, how are you? It's Laurie and I'm here to do your weekly 12 houses reading. I hope all of you are happy, healthy, and having some fun. All right, we're going to start this message as soon as I get it laid out. Shuffled the cards here a little bit for you. Let's go ahead and get this message started. Last week's reading was really nice. I hope that this week brings as much of a beautiful message as you got last week. All right, let's get everything on the table here. It's nice and neat. Can we see all the cards? All right, I think we've got enough room for everything. We're actually going to start. I just heard... Look at this. You've got the Queen of Swords on the bottom of the deck. You're going to start with an oracle message here. And it looks like it's going to be the Everyday Witch's Oracle. So let's see what's going to come out here for you. All right, it says here, affirmation for acceptance. So realizing that some things are beyond your control. If you notice, she's reading up about fate. She's not just saying, oh, well, it's fate. She's reading about it. She's learning. She's kind of checking things out, realizing that some things are just the way they are, beyond her control. Some things require taking a chance. Some are going to cause storms and some are going to cause storms to go away. Let me see what the book has to say about this. All right, so basically, which is what I said, that this card is probably trying to tell you that there is something that you need to simply accept as is. It's just the way it is, okay? It's beyond your control. You almost certainly already know what that is. However, you may have needed a little nudge to let it go, okay? Whatever is going on, please be kind to yourself. Don't fight this. And stop fighting if it has to do with somebody else. Just let it be. Take a deep breath. Admit that there are some battles that you cannot win and just move on, all right? Beautiful message and confirmation there. All right, let's go ahead and get into your 12 houses reading here. And the first house is all about your appearance, how you appear to the world, your first impressions, how you see yourself, and how other people see you. 8 of Cups. I'm getting that you're not paying a lot of attention to people right now. Like you're shutting them out. You're not closing yourself off. You're not keeping yourself at home or anything, but you're not participating in gossip. This is different. This is strange. I'm hearing you're turning your back on a situation, meaning you're just not going to engage. You're not worrying about this, but you're not... So that means you don't have to give it your focus. You don't have to give this your attention. This may be what led to this situation here, the acceptance, affirmation for acceptance, that something just is beyond your control. And if you can't do anything about it, it's better just to move forward, let it go, let it be. Now, I'm also getting that some of you may have done something physically to alter your looks, and you may not be wanting to share that with the world. I just heard somebody got a tattoo. Other people are trying new makeup. Also, haircuts are big right now. I keep seeing a t-shirt, and it's almost like you're hiding what's on the t-shirt. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I mean, a t-shirt is something you change every day. So maybe that's something, maybe that there's something in that. I don't know. I'm not clear on what is being said there. All right. I do see you being viewed as somebody who's focused on their happiness, not letting people get to them, I'm actually getting an image of a duck and rainwater just rolling off the duck. Like it beads up and just rolls off the duck. And that's kind of this energy that I'm feeling here too for you. And that's the way kind of people see you right now. Like you're not letting anything get to you. But you're keeping a secret here, and I can't wait to see what comes out in the secret over here. In house, I think it's 8. Yeah, house 8, where you have secrets. I feel like this is personal, and it's just nobody else's damn business. Okay, we'll see. We'll move on. We'll see what happens here, what develops. All right, let's see what's going on in house 2, which is about your money and your personal values. What's happening here? Queen of Wands. Now, I have to say, before I started this actual reading with this deck of cards, I started to do your 12 houses, and I was going to use this deck. And the Queen of Wands was the first card that fell out. It just, as soon as I picked up the deck, it fell out. And I says, I know she's going to show up in the next reading. So here she is. So in your money matters, somebody may be saying that you're burning through money. Now, that's just their opinion. Whether you are or not, it's your money. They really don't have any say, and you may be turning your back on that, okay? Your values here are your own. And if you're acting as the Queen of Wands, you don't let what other people say about you get to you, okay? You know who you are. The story of the Queen of Wands is that she always has, in the traditional tarot, is that she has her black cat. Well, when the traditional tarot was created, the black cat was considered taboo, and not well received by anybody, okay? However, the Queen of Wands, she kept her cat. She didn't worry about what people thought. She didn't worry about superstitions. She knew that her cat was there for comfort, for her to take care of, and for that cat to comfort and take care of her. So trusting yourself, trusting your own values, maybe finding your own values here. I really feel like you've changed something recently, or you're about to change something soon that's going to bring about possibly people talking, people gossiping, and that's just, oh, well, that's beyond your control. You can't affect and change people's minds if they've made up their minds, and don't even engage in battles with somebody who's made up their mind about something, okay? And some situations are going to create the storms. Other situations will alleviate the storms, but it is what it is. Don't engage in it. And I do feel like somebody around you may be saying you're burning through money, but if they aren't the one giving you the money, and even if they are, if they're supposed to be giving you the money, then that money is yours to do with what you're supposed to. And I'm not giving you advice. I'm talking about how you're responding to what somebody is saying, okay? Their words. Now, if you're legally obligated to take care of something, I hope that you're taking care of that before you're burning through your money. Okay? But you do you. I'm not here to judge. All right, let's take a look at house 3 here. Your communications, your day-to-day communications, and your day-to-day life. What's going on there? 7 of Swords. You've got a strategy. You have a plan, okay? And you're going to keep things to a minimum. This is the dragon controlling the situation by keeping the 7 swords together, okay? Here, nobody can use these swords against me. I'm going to minimize the damage here. I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to show people what I'm doing. So you're not going to talk about the new tattoo. You're not going to talk about why you colored your hair blue or gold or whatever it is, or why you're wearing a t-shirt that says go blah, okay? You're not going to engage. Now, I'm also getting that this may be like physically staying away from people until you're more comfortable with what you've chosen here. You were comfortable enough to choose it, but now you just want to wear it. You want to have it around. You want it to become old hat to where when somebody does say something to you, you're thinking in your head, yeah, it's been this way for a month. It doesn't even need to be talked about. It doesn't even need to be discussed. Okay. So yeah, your conversations, you're keeping to yourself. If you have to talk to anybody about this, you're keeping it to a minimum. You're not giving them anything to use against you, whether it's your words or your actions or anything else. You're keeping that to a minimum. You're just not giving them anything that they can use against you. You've got a great strategy, a great plan. You're protecting your own energies here. Now I just heard needle in a haystack, and I looked down, and for some reason, that looked like a haystack. I don't know if that's actually what it is or not. No, I think it's just the grass around an army camp. Okay, a campground. Oh, I just heard campground gossip. You're going to do everything you can to avoid it. You may even stay in all day just to avoid having to put up with people gossiping and asking you questions and judging you. All right. If you go camping, that might be confirmation for you. All right, let's take a look at your house, your home, your family. What's going on there? Healing. Okay. See, some of you haven't told your family what's going on yet. Or something has happened recently where you're just wanting things to simmer down. But it's peaceful right now, okay? And whatever is going on here, you just don't want to add any fuel to the flames. You want to continue to heal. You want the situation to continue to heal. I get that there was a battle, an argument, a disagreement about something. Maybe you said you were going to get a tattoo and somebody around you said, no, you're not. Absolutely not. What are you, nuts? And yet you went and did it anyways because that's you changing your values, knowing who you are. You're old enough to do this. You're responsible enough to make these decisions. And you're realizing here to minimize the information that's given because you want this to just blow over. You're ready for it to just, let's move on. I'm getting that there could have been a lot of yelling and screaming back and forth or a lot of nasty looks. Boy, do I know those. But there's a lot of love here between you and whoever. So, this too shall pass. But I think there's a healing stage going on right now. A recovery from this situation. And again, you've got a plan here to just minimize the situation. All right, let's go ahead and look at romance, creativity, and if children are involved, whether they're yours or someone else's, it can also have to do with the level of maturity here I'm hearing. You got 3 of Pentacles, so this is going to work out, okay? As far as your romance goes, you may be right on par putting things back together here, okay? Oh, boy. Why am I'm hearing Ezekiel. I don't know. I'm somebody being called out right now, or maybe that's a verse from something. I'm hearing Ezekiel saw the wheel, and I'm getting the message that this is like clarity, understanding the bigger picture. Okay, the bigger picture could be creativity here too. Bringing in resources from different places, unexpected places, thinking outside the box. This is 3 of Pentacles here, though, okay? This is about your creativity, how you can bring it together. And it looks like you're using very unusual tactics. So for you, It could be, instead of engaging in another fight with somebody over this, you are keeping to yourself. And that may not be something you've done in the past. You may have gone around and flaunted getting the tattoo in the past just to prove that you're old enough, you're mature enough, you can do what you want to do. And I'm not talking that this is about a tattoo. It's about you doing what you want to do, living your life according to your rules, and somebody around you having a fit about it and how you're handling the situation. So this could be something, I don't get that this is work involved, but I guess it could be. Yeah, no, this is definitely not work involved, because if you tried to have do something against the owner's wishes, you wouldn't be there any longer. Unless this is a family business. And that's the only thing I'm hearing, is that this could be you work with your family or for your family, or you own the business with your family. All right. I do see here, though, your romantic life is okay. So it may not be your romantic partner that this is about, that you're having this issue with. I keep feeling mother-child, or parent-child, sorry, excuse me. I know there's a lot of male viewers out there. It could be between siblings, too. It could be between spouses, but that would really be like, and it could be new dynamics, like maturing within your own relationship and realizing that even though you're in a partnership with somebody in this relationship, you're still both individuals. All right. Okay. And I do feel like that could be part of what's happening here. But it does work out. It does work out. Everything comes together. It's going to take a little bit of creative thought processes here. But if the desire for peace and the desire to work through it and to have a peaceful solution is there, it will happen eventually. Okay? As long as you can keep from engaging in further battles. Because the war will never be won with all the little broken battles. All right, let's take a look at your relationships. Are we on 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're on 6 right now. Work and health. Where are you with work? Work's good. Your health is improving. Something mentally, you're rising up above a situation. Like you're coming up out of the depths of a darkness, a depression, overcoming. See, I think you finally acted on something you wanted to do for a long time. You knew it was probably going to be disruptive to somebody. You chose to do it anyways because it definitely is helping you mentally, emotionally. Oh, that's interesting. Yes, it can be very difficult to learn how to express yourself and be an individual here without, you're going to upset the cart sometimes. But your energy surrounding how to deal with this right up to this point is beautiful. All right. And this actually is helping you to gain mental clarity, less stress, feelings of freedom, of healing. I'm hearing too, if this is a parent-child relationship and you are the one, and I don't care if you're the parent or the child, because children can be very judgmental, okay? They can disagree with you dating new people, especially if you are no longer married to their other parent, or in that relationship with that other parent. I'm getting here, though, there is a lot of love and growth, okay? There's growth. There's expansion within the relationship. That's beautiful. Your health is improving, but not just yours. Somebody around you, whoever this is, they're going to see this more clearly. And it's all because of how you're handling this situation. This is showing them that you are growing. And it's actually going to help them to find a way to incorporate this type of energy into their own viewpoint of themselves, how they handle their selves. I have to hang on 1 second here. There was something in here. Affirmation for acceptance. It says, there is a prayer that says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Sometimes, no matter how hard we try, there are circumstances or realities that we cannot change. Illnesses, broken relationships, lost jobs. There are unfortunately plenty of things in our lives that we cannot fix. It can be difficult not to keep fighting about it, but sometimes battling the unchangeable just uses up time and energy that would be better used in more productive ways. And that's what you're doing here. Sometimes what we really need is simply the serenity to accept those things we cannot change and the wisdom to know when it is time to do so, okay, and how to do so. So the wisdom is there. That isn't quite what I was hearing from Spirit. I don't know how to put my finger on it, but it's about who you are and who the other person is, and finally realizing you're both individuals. I don't know how to put it any better than that. Okay. So there's healing here. There's growth. There's expansion. There's freedom. There's freedom to express yourself as yourself. And knowing the wisdom of when to share what you're doing and when not to. Okay, when does telling someone that you've got a new tattoo, even though they didn't agree with you getting one, when is that the right time? The day you got it? No, because you're probably just flaunting it in their face. Okay, I think you get it. You get it. All right, now we're going to look at House 7. Take a look at your relationships, including your business ones. Secrets. See, we're already starting. The next card is your House 8, which is about your secrets. So there's something that you're keeping to yourself. It is a deep emotional situation. Again, I keep hearing this could be a family business where you're choosing to do something even though maybe somebody else didn't agree with it. And I'm not getting that it would be a legal thing, because that would be breaking a contract or a legal issue. And you wouldn't want to do that. But this is more like rearranging the store. Okay? You know, it can be an emotional situation. Emotionally charged situation. And that's what I'm getting here. Like you really want to keep the emotional distress to a minimum. So like she's actually holding on to the moon here. And I'm getting that it's like, and I'm almost seeing angel wings in the aura around. So I'm getting this image of wanting to protect the emotions, keeping things simple. You know, like, here's a good path for us to follow. Let's just go this way and keep everything simple. All right, but there's secrets. You're holding back. You're not sharing immediately. Okay, this is not flaunting it energy. This is, let's hold things in. They also say on a full moon, people can become overwhelmed. That's the best way to put it, with emotions. And I'm seeing here that you can see the potential for someone to be overwhelmed, and you want to protect them. You want to protect yourself. It could be you that is overwhelmed with the emotions too. All right, so let's take a look at House 8, which is about your shared resources. So, you know, what you share at work with people, what you share at home with people. Let's take a look at that. Your inheritances. And your secrets. What's going on here? King of Swords. See, you're holding your tongue. You're holding back. You're being frosty, but not in a negative way. Okay, so it's not like you're icing someone out. You just are not engaging. You're using your head instead of your heart. See all the fire that's back here that's being contained? All that red's being held back. All that passion, all that energy, all that fiery energy is being held back. You're holding yourself to a standard here and holding your tongue. You're holding your tongue. You could lash out. I mean, just look at this blue dragon tail. That looks like it could lash out like a whip. And you're not doing that. You're keeping the peace. You're freezing it out. Let's keep everything cool, calm, and collected. Now, you may be holding on to money here. You may be hanging on to some sort of control over money. And okay, when I say that, I kept questioning what I was hearing because we had this situation where somebody may be accusing you of burning through money. All right. So what I'm hearing here is you are keeping control of how much people know about what you're spending first. The second thing is this could be a shared resource that somebody is saying, hey, you're burning through our profits here at work. If you're doing it legally and keeping things the way they should be here, okay, the energy suggests that they'll get past this because you're going to show them how this actually benefited them, the business, the situation. I am hearing a word of caution. If you are doing anything illegal, though, if it goes against any type of contract, even if it's a family member and it involves money, you are pushing the limit there. You really are doing something that you may want to consider. But I don't feel like that's I don't even feel like that's anybody here right now. But I feel like it had to be said for somebody who may be coming in later. All right, so you're being wise. You're holding your tongue here. You're not sharing your secrets. You're not talking. You're not engaging. You're not arguing. You're not battling anyone. In fact, you're keeping all those emotions in control. Only yours, not everyone else's, your emotions. All right, so let's take a look at your long-term life. How you're learning and teaching. 4 of Cups. You're not happy with the situation, but you're tolerant of it, okay? Because you know it will work out in the end. You're finding your places of center, of meditation, of peace. You're holding your own, okay? We want the 3 of Cups, okay? And the best way to have that 3 of Cups is to hold your own emotions, to hold control of yourself, okay? Don't worry about what the other people are doing. This person's got their one cup, their own cup in their hands, eyes closed, focused on themselves. And that's exactly what you're doing here. You see how this situation could go on for a while and not be resolved right away, but you will handle it, okay? You might not be happy about exactly how it's going, but you will deal with it. You're focusing on yourself. You're not engaging in the battles. All right. Let's take a look at your vocation, your career goals. What are you really aspiring to here? That inner strength, being brave, being courageous, being able to live your life according to your own path, your own desires here. Yeah, that's the Strength card. And see, you want to be able to I keep hearing holding your tongue. Like you don't want to react. You don't want to react. You want to feel stronger, more confident, more courageous about doing the things that make you happy. Even when they're very big and they're very scary, you want to be able to face these things. This is what you're aspiring to do. This is probably one of the first times you've ever done something like this in your life, okay? In your life. And you could be 75 years old and this is the first time you've done something like this. I just got a picture of somebody getting a tattoo and somebody else coloring their hair. I saw blue hair and I saw pink hair. Okay? So it's bound to create gossip. It's bound to push your boundaries of the people around you because this is not something you've done in the past. Your long-term goal here, you aspire to find your bravery, your courage, and stand up for yourself more often without argument, without conflict, okay? Acknowledging some things are just not in your control. And what other people think, feel, or do is not in your control. How you respond is. And that's a beautiful aspiration here. Absolutely love that. All right, let's move into your friend group, your friends, your groups, your community. How is this being received? Justice. Okay, yes, that is awesome. Okay, and what I'm hearing is it may not be fair for everybody, but it's the most balanced outcome that can be had in this situation. Okay, so eventually harmony will be restored. Okay, if you've already gotten the tattoo, there's not much that this person can do about that. There's not much more they can say about it. Justice comes in, fairness is, there as best as fair can be. I do get that you get to be yourself, that you get to keep going forward, and that any gossip stops, any fighting, any arguments, any discussions over this. The decision's made. It's done. Let's move on. Yeah, interesting. Okay, let's finish this up with your what's going on behind the veil. What is happening that you may not know about? Look at this, the World card, and this came out when I was pre-shuffling too. I'm so glad that it's the ending here. All right, this tells me that you're tying this up, that this too shall pass. Whatever battles have been going on here, whatever, I'm hearing power struggles. Whatever was going on here, it's over, okay? This is not just a 9 of releasing it, letting it go. It's not a 10 where you're tying up the loose ends. This is the one where you shut the door on this for good. No, if you decide you're going to get another tattoo, you're not even going to discuss it. You're going to go get that tattoo. If you decide that you now want to color your hair green, okay, you're going to do that. If you decide that something is good for you and it's not hurting you or hurting anyone else, that you can do this, that this is your life, okay? This closes out a cycle here of power struggle is what I'm hearing. Independence is gained, earned, justified, okay? Again, I'm hearing like that 20-year-old saying, I'm getting a tattoo next week. All my friends, we're going to go get tattoos. And the parent says, oh, hell no, you're not. That goes against everything we believe in. It's a power struggle. Okay, and that's just an example. You know your situation. So I'm glad that this World card is here. It tells me that this is put to bed, put to rest. No more arguing over this. And I will say, it does come from how you handle this whole situation. Letting it be, not engaging, okay? Having a desire for everyone to still love each other and be on the same page. And, you've got the right energy here. And it says that you will heal from this. You've got the Star card here. But mentally and emotionally, physically, this may be a huge change for you with that Ace of Cups. All right, let's go ahead and get you some oracle messages here. I don't even know what I'm looking for. Oh, that's what Spirit wants to give you. Spirit animal. All right. Don't usually do oracle messages with these readings. And we started with one, and it looks like we're going to get you at least another here. All right, so you got 2 spirit animal messages here. Look at that. The raven, the shaman. You are the creator and the magician of what? Of your life, of your reality. So make sure you're using your goods or your gifts for good. okay, that you're using your talents and your skills, that you've got a good strategy for keeping the peace. There is always power in your wisdom and in your words and how you handle the situations. Connect with your elemental spirits and glide through the void so that you can get that information. Claim your place as the keeper of mysteries. And who's the keeper of mysteries? The person who holds their tongue. They don't go around sharing everything that they know. All right, the Ram, perseverance. You have many gifts, and there is not one single problem out there that you cannot handle with using your head. Okay, if you keep your cool, be patient, and you will reach your pinnacle. You will overcome these mountains. Never give up, and good luck will follow. Love that for you. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this message, this weekly 12 houses reading. Give me some feedback. Drop me a comment. Claim it. All right, give the message a thumbs up. And I will see you next week and this is for all signs, just so everybody knows, okay? Until our energy crosses again, I'm going to wish you much peace, love, and happiness. Bye-bye.